Hello folks, I'm working on the Brakiri Cruiser here. Alright, and wanted to give you guys a short update because I'm almost done with the seam filling. Not completely. 6 more parts will be glued to her, but I'm almost done with the worst of it. This seam right here still needs a teeny bit more work. I can feel it when I run my finger over it. I'll have to hit it with some paint to see if what I'm feeling is visible. If it's not visible, I'm not going to mess with it. It just might be a mold imperfection. Okay. Wing seams here are done. That seam's done. That one was an easy seam. This one was a pain, but it's pretty much done. I'm going to have to hit it with some paint and look at it one more time just to make sure. But it feels like it's done. The seam up there still has the silver paint on it. You can see it's done. The seams back here still have silver. Well, one of them still has silver paint. You can see it's done. Here, let me make this easier for you guys. Me and my famous zooming in and out. Right there, you can see that seam's done. The seam up there is pretty close to done. Going over the wing seams again. This one's done. This one's done. This one's done. This one feels done, but I want to hit it with some paint because that was the bad one. The seam there, here, and here are done. Same thing with here and up here. Okay? And then again, we had the bad one on the front of the ship here. That one doesn't feel done with my fingers, so I'm going to have to hit it with some silver paint and check it. It's just not done. Here, all the way around the sides and the back are done. Now, some of you have been wondering, how the heck am I going to get this seam to the touch right there? That is done. Same thing up here. It's not until I get almost dead center that it feels off on both the front and the back. And if you got good eyes, you can see where it's not good back there. It's visible. I know it is. Okay? Let me explain how I've been working those seams. They're not easy to work. In fact, I just spent an hour doing nothing but working those seams. No files. Resin's too soft. You hit it with a file, you're going to scratch the crud out of it and groove it. So I'm not using files on that. What I'm using are these two. Fingernail file, sanding stick. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It wasn't very expensive. Came in a pack of like 15 for $3. I only use them for tight little places. I mainly use my sheet sandpaper, and you can see a collection of wet dry sandpaper sitting right here because I've been using it on and off, and you can tell I've been using it. I got my bucket of water there and my trusty rag for keeping things clean, and another one of these sanding sticks because I'm just abusing the crud out of these sanding sticks. Alright, what I'm doing is this. This guy goes in here. I'm putting pressure down on it this way so I can get in here and smooth the walls. Just like that. I'm not putting a lot of pressure right now because I don't want to get this messed up. I just cleaned it in the water to get it clean. Doing the same thing down here. The tricky part is doing it this way because of the body of the ship is in the way. So I have to be really careful when I'm doing this. Okay? Another problem is this is too wide. It does great on the sides, but it doesn't do good around that curvature on the bottom down there. Around here, this curvature, because this is wider than the curve. Okay? So that's where these guys come in. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm putting pressure on it like that so the tip of it's in contact and scrubbing where I want it to scrub. And that's slowly getting that seam out of there. It's almost done. It's just a few spots left to get. I can feel it when I run my finger up in there. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not really worried about dead center in there because not many people are going to be like eyeballing really hard up in there, I don't think. Most people are going to look at it and go, what the hell is it? Because who's ever seen anything that looks like this? Outside of Babylon 5, I haven't. Okay? So I just want to let you guys know how I'm working the seams. Sometime this weekend, I'm going to drill a new hole for the stand, and that's going to be tricky because it's got to be at an angle. Alright? And here's why that's going to be real tricky. I got to get a part out of the box. I keep everything boxed up so I don't lose any of my pieces. They're either boxed or in a bag while I'm working. And sometimes I put parts while I'm working in these kind of boxes right here so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. I have 2 boxes reserved for that. Here we got the big rear bottom stabilizer. It goes on here pretty much like that. Okay? Now the trick is I have to have the stand where it runs. Yeah, that's the way it goes. I have to have the stand where the rod runs perfectly parallel to that fin. Okay? Can anyone see what the problem is? The central shaft is not perpendicular to that fin. It rises up. So I have to calculate that angle and get that drilled in at the proper angle. What I did the first time is it was out perpendicular to the body, and that don't work. It's got to be parallel to this fin at an angle like that, and that's about a 3 to 5 degree angle. So I'm going to have to calculate that angle, set my drill press to do that correctly. That'll be fun. These fins are going to need pins, okay? One of the things some people have told me is I overdid the pins on this guy. But you know what? It's solid as a rock. One of my cats has knocked this off my desk, and that's a good 2.5, 3 foot fall to the floor. Didn't even phase it. The thing is solid, okay? So I'm not upset I did all those pins, and I'm going to have to replicate the same thing on the stabilizers. And there's going to be some nasty seam filling on those stabilizers, just like there were on the wings. Once that's done, I put these 2 pieces in, scratch some guns. I don't think I'm going to use the kit guns the more I think about it. I've got some brass rod that's just perfect sized for that. And I can put some brass rod on there. And the beauty of that is I can actually drill the holes for the brass rod and then sink the brass rod into the resin to get the main guns on her. But she's getting there. She's getting really close to done. This is going to look very interesting when it's done. A big old fin sticking off the bottom like that. Anyhow, just wanted to give you guys a brief update, let you know what I'm doing. Almost got the bad scenes done. It's almost time for a party. Painting party. That's what that'll be. I had some ideas for paint on this thing. I'll let you guys in on that later. Bye. Hello everyone. I've been working on Brakiri here. Got a lot of work done on it actually. This seam is finally done. Can hardly feel it anymore. That took a bit of work. Almost all the seams are done. The hole for the stand is finally done. I took 3 attempts to get that straight. You can see the other spots I fixed with Aves. When I put the brass rod in here now, do that. She's upright the way I want her. Oh yeah. She's going to sit in there the way I want her now. So I got that done. I'm getting very, very close to putting the vertical uprights on it. What's taxing me and giving me trouble are these inside seams right inside here. I had 3/4 of it done, but this one right here where my fingers are rubbing just won't go away. And it's really hard because you can't really reach in there and you can't do anything about it. Sand it well. So I even took a file and bent the sucker so I could reach in there with it, and it's still saying, I don't want to go away. I'm your friend. So I'm going to give her, been using Mr. Dissolve Putty. That's apparently not working. I'm going to hit with Mr. Surfacer this time and give it a try and see. Mr. Dissolve Putty worked on a lot of these seams. Anyhow, just wanted to give you guys a short update. Alright, now to start talking about a few things. I finally got the seams on the inside where I cannot feel them with my fingers. I know that doesn't mean they won't show when they're painted, but I can't feel them at all. And that took a lot of work. I showed you in an earlier segment how I was doing that. Okay? Now I'm going to move the camera a little bit and we're going to start talking about base. This is the piece of wood I'm going to use for the base. Okay? Here's the brass rod that came with the ship. It goes in the hole like this. So she's going to sit on the base about like that. Okay, I know you guys can't see crap because she zoomed in too much. She's also kind of big. There we go. She's going to sit in the base about like this. If I turn the base sideways, you'll get a better feel for it. Alright. We also are going to have this big vertical stabilizer hanging off the bottom like this, which my hands are in the way. But there you go. So I'm almost ready to start putting that on. For the base, I'm going to get out my vinyl cutter. It's a Silhouette SD. I'm going to make a video of this, show you guys how it works, because I haven't done that in a while. And I'm going to make some video vinyl letters that say Babylon 5 on it, Brakiri Cruiser. And it's going to give the dimensions of the cruiser, the statistical data of the Brakiri Cruiser. And it's going to sit on this part of the base right here. So what's up next is for me to, I can't really put these stabilizers on until this base is done. So I'm going to work on the base today. We'll get the base pretty close to done today. I'll get the vinyl letters done. I got to sandpaper this. And I'm ready. Alright? To start attaching things. Get the vertical stabilizers on. I got a little bit more seam filling. And she's going to be about done. I got to scratch build the pulse cannons too. But that's beside the point. So I'll be back in a little bit with an update. Alright everyone, what we have here is a vinyl cutter. It's a personal vinyl cutter. It's not professional, it's not for a business. It was about $100, $120. I bought it because I had to put some vinyl signs up at work, in my office, and they wanted $100 to put the vinyl sign up, and I can make the sign with this for $100. So I figured, why not, and I'll have it, and I can do other uses. Still haven't made the signs at work, but that's beside the point. I'm about to do a trial run for the lettering on the stand for the Brakiri Cruiser. I'm going to pull the camera off the tripod real quick. It's going to be kind of awkward because I got a locking tripod. I just want to show you guys this software up here. This is the software for the cutter. You pretty much type it and it prints off what you see. I just got to make sure things are aligned correctly when it prints. And it's just like a printer. This is somewhat like Word, somewhat like a normal photo editing software. And you can actually use this. It'll take, what will it take? Vector graphics. You can import any vector graphic and it'll cut it out on vinyl for you, or paper, or whatever. Well, paper, cardstock, vinyl. It'll cut it, and it'll cut the shape properly, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything set up, and I'm going to show you guys a trial run cutting on paper to make sure I got everything aligned correctly. Then I'm going to cut out a piece of black vinyl. I'm going to cut on black vinyl and show you how to transfer it over to my stand. Some of you have seen this before. I did it with the Corsair and I did it with the 747 Space Shuttle. But it's been about a year, so I thought I'd bring it out and let you guys see it again. So I'll be back in a bit once I get everything ready. We are here at the Houston Museum of Natural Science, the Butterfly Building. Basically an indoor rainforest just chock full of butterflies. And you can see them everywhere just flying. It's kind of fun. Ooh, pretty one over there. Let's see if we can get him before he goes flying. There's Sherman Park out the window. There's lots of fun stuff in here.